functioning will be like normal. रफी साहब, आप में से एक Canada, USA, Honduras, Guatemala.
En inglés nosotros decimos flag. ¿Cómo se dice en español?
Oh, Guatemala, digo?
Guatemala.
Guatemala, Honduras, USA, and Canada.
मुझे पूछा था स्पेनिश में किस तरह कहते हैं। मैंने सीखा था लेकिन जेन से उतर गया।
Flago?
फ्लैगो।
मैंने जो सीखी है अक्सर मैं आपको लगा दूँ या इसको सीओ कर दूँ। This one is good enough.
Follow the action. Now, come on, start with shakes.
Qasim sir.
Qasim, आप उसको आगे ले आओ अपने साथ।
No, they just pull it. नहीं ये नहीं है ना ये दूसरे से उधर आ जाओ उधर आ जाओ They're coming over
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa. Ahmed Ji. Hazrat Khalifatul Masjid Khamas.
Zindabad.
Jamaat-e Ahmadiyya Belize.
Zindabad.
Belize.
Zindabad. Allahu Akbar.
them coming in and out. We will now have silent prayers. So please join us in silent prayers. Amen. Because we go. Okay, it doesn't there. Let's just show them coming in. Okay. Move up. You can go on. Let's bring them back. Explain me, I don't just part of that with them, okay? इसको यूज करना नहीं मेरे को हो जाएगा यू यूजिंग बोथ ऑफ देम or we can just go there उधर लगा के वो साइड पे कर सकते हैं ये भी कुछ नहीं मैं देखता हूँ
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My peace and blessings of God be upon all. Start this program with blessed Eid with a recitation from the Holy Quran, the divine revealed book of Islam. I request Mr. Aslan Quraish, the missionary for Belize district, please recite.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أمر ربي بالقسط وأقيموا وجوهكم عند كل مسجد وادعوه مخلصين له الدين كما بدأكم تعودون فريقا هدى وفريقا حق عليهم الضلالة إنهم اتخذوا الشياطين أولياء من دون الله ويحسبون أنهم مهتدون يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين.
And now the English translation will be presented by Maulana Umar Akhtar Shahid, missionary of the Orenburg district.
Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. I will now present for you the English translation of the verses just recited, which were chapter 7, Surah Al-Araf, verses 30 through 32. In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful. Say, my Lord has enjoined justice, and fix your attention aright at every time and place of worship, and call upon Him, making yourselves sincere towards Him in religion. As He brought you into being, so shall you return. Some has He guided, and as for others, error has become their desert. They have taken evil ones for friends to the exclusion of Allah, and they think that they are rightly guided. O children of Adam, Look to your adornment at every time and place of worship. And eat and drink, but exceed not the bounds. Surely he does not love those who exceed the bounds.
Now we would have Lana Nareed Mangla Sahib, national president and missionary in charge of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Belize. He will be presenting the project details of Masjid Noor, that is Noor Mosque.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'du. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Our honored guests, our distinguished guests that are on the head tables, and our guests that have come from abroad, good afternoon, or is it morning still? And on behalf of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, I want to say that thank you so much for coming here today. When we look at the history of Islam, after being persecuted for first 13 years, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, migrated to a city called Medina. And the first thing that the Muslims did was they purchased a land and started to build a mosque so they can all gather and worship together and so that they can remember God quietly. When we look at the history of Jamaat in Belize, it's very similar. We have our former mayor sitting here today. I'm not sure if you remember this, but Mr. Bradley, back in 2014, when we opened our first mission, at Crown Cone, you came and you helped us with the inauguration of our first mission in Belize. So we have been established here since 2013, but we're living our rent. We moved many times till, by the grace of God, we were able to purchase this current land. And just as I was mentioning that, when we look at the history of Muslims and how it's going in Belize is very similar. The Muslims back in the days had to make many sacrifice, whether it's financial or their own life or whatever kind of financial sacrifice it is. It has been emphasized in the Holy Quran. God says that, and not just the sacrifice, but the quality of the sacrifice has been emphasized. God says in the Holy Quran that their flesh, when they sacrifice animals, does not reach God. Nor is the blood that reaches, but it's this righteousness that reaches God when you're making those sacrifices. And it was through these teachings that the early companions made great sacrifices. Once the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, asked the Muslims that whatever sacrifices that you can make, bring it, because there are other people that were less fortunate and they needed the assistance. Hazrat Umar, who later became the second caliph, he brought whatever was at home, but left 50% at home and brought 50% with him to give it to the Prophet. Then came Hazrat Abu Bakr, who later became the first caliph, and he said that, here it is, and the Prophet said that, how much did you bring? He said that whatever I had at home, I brought it, and I just left God Almighty and His Prophet at home. So this is how much trust they had in God Almighty when they were making these sacrifices, meaning that they knew that regardless of what happens, God had their back. And I'm very happy to say this, that when we were building this mosque in Belize, our those that are our youth that have joined us so far have also made similar sacrifices. There's a girl or a young a member. Her name is Julia. She's only 16 years old. Although I've mentioned this in our press conference also, that the land that we're sitting upon is a 2 acres land, and it was purchased with the assistance of one person. The person that built this mosque, he assisted with all the finances, and he was also one person. And the team that built it came from Canada, a team of 15 people, and they volunteered to build it during COVID. They did not go back. There was a time that Prime Minister Trudeau in Canada announced that you have 1 week where we're closing the airports, and I started urging these volunteers that please go back, because if you get stuck, then I will also get in trouble. They said that we can't risk it, because if we go back and we cannot come back, then this honor of building of the mosque will be taken away from us and will be given to somebody else, and we cannot risk that. So they stayed here for a year and a half without going back to their families, and were able to come up with the building that we're sitting in right now. We have, as I was saying, that our young sister Julia, 16 years old, we were encouraging our youth and our members here to get involved and make these sacrifices so they can taste the same blessings as the earlier companions of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon them, were able to achieve and taste the blessings. When we asked her, she brought a box full of coins. And she said that this is something that I've been collecting for the last 34 years. And although there were, if you add all of them, probably not more than $25, $30, but it was her saving though. And she brought it. She said that this is whatever I had, and here you go. You can use it towards the construction of the mosque. Realistically, if you look at it, it probably did not have any value, right? But like I said, God does not look at the physical sacrifice, but it looks at the hearts when the person is making the sacrifice. Another brother, his name is Denzel. He said that I do not have any finances to offer, but I have a motorcycle, and it's something that I can live without. So he sold that motorcycle, and whatever money he could get, he gave that towards the building of the mosque. And then Brother Qasim Sankofa, who is now the official security guard, he was somewhere on the islands and was a security guard for one of the resorts. I asked him that, we're having this blessed scheme, and it would be nice if we can get you to come and become the security guard of our mosque. And he asked me that how much can the community give me as my salary. And the number that I came up with, he said, is nothing compared to how much I'm getting there, because they provided residence, food, and salary. But I said that this is the most we can do. So he said that, yes, whatever the community will give me, I will take it, because I know that it's towards building this house of God. And God showed him a sign right away, because right after that, COVID came, and the resort closed, and all the people that were working there were sent back home. So then the missionaries, their families, they offered many sacrifices. Once again, the volunteers from Canada. So we're very fortunate that this building was made through these sacrifices. So to give you the details about this land, is 2 acres, and the construction area is 583 square meters, and only 1/3 of the land is currently occupied. We have 2/3, and we plan to maybe build a school or a clinic or a hospital in the future. And the area that you're sitting in, it can accommodate 200 worshippers, but obviously not during COVID. We have the entrance that we all came in from. That's the ladies' entrance, and we have the men's entrance, and both entrances have their own washrooms. It is the first mosque for Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Central America, after building a Batul Awal Mosque in 1989 in Guatemala. And this mosque, as you know, has been named by our head of the community, Hazrat Mirza Masrur Rahman, may God strengthen his hand, as Masjid Noor, meaning the Mosque of Lights. At the end, I would like to read out a quote of our spiritual head of the community, and he said this while he was in Canada at the occasion of a mosque that he inaugurated in Lloydminster. He said that as we gather here today, it is an undeniable fact that we are passing through troubled times, and the future of the world is becoming increasingly uncertain. Conflicts continue to spread and escalate in various countries, and in particular in certain Muslim nations. Anyone who has even a slight interest in current affairs may well hold a negative impression of Muslims and mosques and view them as an element of fear and suspicion. In almost every news bulletin, there are reports of bloodshed and violence, wherein governments are fighting local rebel groups, and the hostilities have developed into full-fledged civil wars, in which thousands upon thousands of innocent people are being targeted and killed. The brutalities taking place are horrific and a source of shame on humanity. Rather than small-scale, low-grade weapons, we are seeing formidable and terrifying missiles being fired and heavy bombardment and airstrikes taking place as a matter of routine. Towns and cities are being ravaged and left in ruin. Rivers of blood flow through the streets, and countless people are being left bereaved and displaced. The news media is providing constant global coverage of such atrocities, and so it is not surprising that misgivings and a fear of Islam that has developed within, and so it is has developed within some non-Muslims. Such reservations are now further escalating in some countries, with hatred and intolerance of Muslims rising to the surface. And then he said that given all of this, the fact that you have come to attend a mosque inauguration, which is a purely Islamic event, is a sign of extraordinary courage on your part. It is also a sign that you're not amongst those people who have fallen prey to the false belief that Islam is a religion of violence or extremism. Rather, you have understood that the discord and lack of peace in Muslim countries is not linked to Islamic teachings. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Qasim Mangla Sahib. Now we have introduction of guests and remarks from our honored guests. I request Maulana Daryl Sahib, missionary of Belmont and District, to please introduce the guests.
Honored guests, Amir Kanala Sahib, Rabbi Naveed, dignitaries, good morning. I greet you in the Islamic salutations of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The Quran says, obey Allah, obey the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and those in authority. Most of our work in the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat is for those people in need, those that are in need of a helping hand. So in order for this work to be successful, we do need to have good relations with those who are high up within the civilization or the society that we are in. So we want to once again thank those of you who came to the inauguration of this mosque, which is our permanent home, and it shows your acceptance to us making a home here. And those who are speaking also shows that you want to continue to further our work together, God willing. So I would firstly like to ask the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams. The Commissioner of Belize is the commanding officer of the Belize Police Department. Commissioner Chester Williams, please, if you may so gracious with your words.
Hi, good morning, one and all. This morning when I came, I was asked to take out my shoes at the door. I said, thank God I wear a good socks. I had on the one I had pulled on yesterday. Thanks, Navid. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be here this morning. And let me first acknowledge the presence of both I here and the ministers of government who are here. I see Madam President of the Senate as well, the current and former mayor of the city, and other invited guests. I also think I saw the Bishop of the Catholic Church here as well, which is very, very symbolic to see that the Bishop is here with us this morning. I have been asked to give a few words at this very important occasion today. And as the Commissioner of Police, I must say that I am grateful for the work that I see the Ahmadiyya Muslim conduct doing in Belize City. We know oftentimes we see things happening on our streets and our young people going astray, and there is nothing for them to do, or no sort of intervention to keep them in check. But again, while we have some sector of society who sits on the fence and complain, the Ahmadiyya Muslims have been on the ground actively involved in different activities as a means of intervention with young people. And as myself and my minister discussed in a meeting last week, we had other stakeholders, that we do believe that one of the best interventions is through sports. And we are grateful to see that the Ahmadiyya Muslims continue to promote sports, and they have this annual basketball tournament, which was put on hold for 2 years due to COVID. And even before the Minister of Health and Wellness announced that they will remove restrictions, now we don't start up basketball tournament, I was about to go and lock him down. And the minister said, no, hold on, demand that permission. But again, it shows that they are always willing to be out there and do what they can to interact with our young people, bring them together as a family intervention, and keeping them productive. So I want to say thanks, Navid, for the good work that you and your organization continue to do. And I can also say that I visited London at the Muslim Convention with Navid in 2019. And I can say I learned a lot at that convention. I have a different mindset of the Muslim community as opposed to what I was made to understand in my earlier life. Being there in England and see how they interact with themselves and interact with others, it's certainly exemplary, and I think that it is what all of us should do. And what I like most about the convention is the motto, love for all, hatred for none, because certainly we need to love each other and hate no one, right? God created all of us in his own likeness and image, and we have to respect people for who they are, what they are. And at the end of the day, when we see people who are in need, we have to reach out and help them. And I think if we all do that, we're going to have a good society. Our young people are in dire need of help, and every hand that we can get to help with our young people to keep them on track is certainly welcome. And so I call upon other organizations to do what the Ahmadiyya Muslim is doing in Belize. Reach out to our young people, intervene with them, and try to make them more productive in what they do. With that said, thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Chester Williams. He said we put him on the spot and he did really well. Really well. So thank you once again. Next, we would like to invite Daryl Bradley. He is currently the Senate appointed by the United Democratic Party and also a former mayor. Please welcome Daryl Bradley.
Distinguished guests, it's such a pleasure and honor for me to be here to lend my support to the opening of this mosque and to honor and celebrate and recognize the work of the Ahmadiyya Jamaat in Belize. I feel very fortunate to have had a very meaningful and profound friendship and relationship with the Ahmadiyya Jamaat internationally and in Belize. It was my honor to have been present at the first opening of the Jamaat Center then on Coney Drive a few years ago in 2014. It was my honor also to have been invited to see the Jalsa in the United Kingdom and to really experience firsthand the work and the love and the spirit of Ahmadiyya Muslims throughout the world. One of the things, as the commissioner really echoed, is you get an eye-opening experience when you see, I believe at that point it was 35,000 people united under one tent in celebration and praise of Allah, and really in a sense of unity. One of the things that I've always been amazed with the Jamaat is how selfless people of the Ahmadi Muslim faith are, how giving they are, and how impactful they have been to communities throughout the world and also in Belize, that they have been at the forefront all over the world trying to alleviate all forms of suffering, reading about them, being in Africa, building homes, being in Katrina in the United States, being in Belize, working with our young people, and really being of service in celebration of this principle of love for all and hatred for none, and really being an example of what good human beings should be. Servants first, and claiming nothing for themselves. I want to share two experiences that I have had which have been very personal to me and very impactful upon my personal journey in engaging with the Ahmadiyya Jamaat. The first is when I have had the experience of meeting His Holiness in person. And I've shared this experience before, but one of the messages that he had given was that in life we always talk about individual rights. What is my right? What is my entitlement? What am I due in society? What am I owed? And one of the words that he shared with me is that we need to be reflective and talk about our responsibility. What do we have to give? How can we be of service and of value to our community and to our fellow men and women in the world? And one of the things that I have truly seen is that the Ahmadiyya Jamaat in Belize have been of service. They have been of tremendous value, contributing to the growth of our community, particularly our young people who are most vulnerable. The second experience I had is with President Khan personally. I remember when he had visited a few years ago and he shared a word with me during the course of our elections. And one of the things he had said to me is, you never pray for victory. You always pray that whatever is done, God be glorified. And in life, as we go through, we may be successful and we may fail. But as long as our motives are pure, and as long as what we do is in the service of others, it brings honor to God, and it is virtuous, and it is a success. And those are the values that I have seen of the Ahmadiyya Jamaat, and I've experienced that they live by those values, and it has been of tremendous benefit to me personally, and I know that it has been of tremendous benefit to members in our community. It is an honor for me to be here, having been invited. I have shared many conversations and experiences with Brother Naveed. We also share the love of basketball. I can't tell you that I'm a good basketball player, but I've enjoyed those interactions as well. I know that this center will be of a significant benefit this mosque be a place of congregation for members of the Muslim faith in our community, but also for every Belizean. And I know, as the name says, that it is a light, it should be a beacon to restore this part of our community and our city, because of the example of Ahmadi Muslims who have called this place their home. You have shown great service, you have shown great love. We appreciate the fact that you have called our country home, and we know that this mosque will continue to be a blessing on the community, and it will empower others, including those who are most in need. The last thing that I want to say is, I believe that the Ahmadi Muslim community and Belize share a lot of similarities. And if you look at the experiences of our country and our people, I think it is a good experience that we have been a welcoming community for Ahmadi Muslims. I've read a lot about the community, and I know the history of persecution throughout the world. But in Belize, you will find a home. You will be welcome, because as a community, we are open, we're tolerant, we are engaging, and that is something that we as Belizeans should be proud of. The relationship that we have with the Ahmadi Muslim community is an example of the greatness of the Belizean culture, that so many people throughout the history of our nation have called these shores home, and they have found safety, they have found tolerance, and they have built a home here. And so it is my message of congratulations to the building of this mosque and to the Ahmadi community, but it is also a message of congratulations for the Belizean people, to show our Belizean hospitality and to be a warm friend. And I know that this relationship will continue, it will blossom, and I look forward to the many more lunches, dinners, and engagements that I will have at this center. It is my pleasure to welcome you, and I congratulate the Ahmadi community in Belize and all over the world, and it is my honor to be here at this opening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Daryl Bradley. Next, we would like to invite Bishop Lawrence Nicasio. Here, please. He is the bishop in the Roman Catholic Diocese of Belize City and Belmopan.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. It's good to be here. This day the Lord has made for us to come together as His people, His children. Pope Francis, the Holy Father, has set the example for us. The one church, one people can do the work that's necessary for us to live in peace in this home, this common home we call Earth. Like the song that says, this is the Rata, we have a right to be here. It's our home, my home, your home, and we need to take care of it. And who will take care of it? Us. I've told our priests, this church is not about the bishop or one priest or one nun. It's about us, all of us doing our part for each other's well-being, for joy. There's always work to be done. And so I'm happy that we can join forces with our brothers and sisters here at this mosque, in this space of prayer, where we can pray for each other, where we can lock arms with each other, and to be able to serve each other. In our journey, this journey, the Holy Father has called us to this journey the journey to reach out to all people. It's easy to sit in our comfort zone and say, I'm happy here, I don't need to reach out to anybody else. But we are called to go to those people who are collecting the trash. We are called to go to the prisons, to the peripheries of our communities, to find out how our people are living, how we can serve more. There's always more to be done. So my brothers, sisters, thank you for this invitation, and let us keep in touch. Let us continue to pray for one another. Let us continue to serve each other.
Thank you so very much, Bishop Nicasio. I just wanted to say that I am very pleased, and I believe the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is very happy that Bishop Nicasio accepted our invitation. It shows that, as he said in his words, that we are trying our best to work together. You know, in the time of the Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, he allowed Christians to pray in his own mosque. So it is a place of unity, as he said. It's a place of us working together so that we can make our communities better. So thank you once again, Bishop Nicasio. I next would like to invite Bishop Alvin Moses Benkuche. He's the Senator of Belize, representing the Belize Council of Churches and Evangelical Association of Churches. Please, Bishop Benkuche. Please welcome him as well.
President, Brother Nabil, Minister, the Honorable Minister, other church leaders present this morning, this afternoon, government ministers, the President of the Senate, and the fellow senators. I joined this afternoon with the Ecumenical Church body in our participation and in our active support of the opening of this sacred building, and in sharing what represents the spirit of ecumenism now and what it will mean for us in the future as we collaborate one with another. The Ecumenical Church, in the spirit of ecumenism, which serves to collectively embrace, also shares in the spirit of the pledge in the revelation to the promised Messiah. And I quote, "I shall cause thy message to reach the corners of the earth," close quote. This message, if I should attempt to interpret what the Messiah means, speaks to the numerous activities in which the Muslim brothers and sisters have been engaged in from its inception in Belize and in the life of Belizeans. Your mission in spreading the message of peace, promoting education, and encouraging male and female young men and women in the development of their minds, body, and souls, and in the area of sports,
have been a most positive and impactful statement to what is happening to us, and speaks positively as to what can take place in the future. The ecumenical church body embraces this mission. We salute you as you join us in this ecumenical movement. Society is much better off with the impact that the church has made, that religion has made to Belize. Now your body joins in enforcing this positive impact. Your motto, and I quote, "Love for all, hatred for none," serves as a message not only in words that Belize needs at this time to capture its true image, but it also serves what you continue to do indeed as you serve faithfully and daily amongst Belizeans. We look forward to the continued interactions and partnerships as we support each other in this ecumenical movement. I thank you.
I want to once again thank Bishop Benguche for the wonderful presentation just now. It was a wonderful group of words that moved us. We should also know that in the time of the Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, he not only fought for Islam, but he fought for not only the mosques, but the churches and the synagogues to protect them. Any place that was the name of Allah or the name of God was said, he protected it. So we will also continue to do this through the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. And so I once again want to thank Bishop Benguche for his wonderful words. We will move on to his worship, Bernard Wagner, whom is the current mayor of Belize City. Please welcome the worship Bernard Wagner.
Senator Bradley, I heard in your message your love for basketball, and I'm certain that Bid will arrange a game for us. As I'm an avid basketball player, and the minister right here in the midst of us, Henry Usher, basketball player and our minister here as well. So we look forward to that game, Nabi. Well, certainly a pleasant good morning to all members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Belize, all guests of the regional and international Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, and all invited guests. In 2018, I enjoyed an enlightening and thrilling experience at Jalsa Salana in London. It was an epic gathering of tens of thousands of dedicated and conscious members of the global Ahmadiyya Muslim community. I was welcomed with open arms and was impressed by the level of organization, faith, collectivism, and all the wonderful accomplishments that were shared. In Belize, the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is not numbered in the tens of thousands, perhaps, not as yet. But despite that, what you have been able to accomplish in Belize so far is nothing short of amazing, and I wish for everyone here today to give you, your families, and supporters a rousing round of applause. Can I hear that? Our city appreciates a warm and fruitful partnership, and we recognize you for your stellar contributions in sports, education, social work, and community development. We congratulate you on this signature accomplishment, the inauguration of your bigger, better headquarters, which we believe to be a signal of bigger and better things to come. Thank you all, and may you continue to be blessed and a blessing to all. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mayor Bernard Wagner. Very short and sweet, and it was very sweet. Thank you so much. So we also have the Mayor of Orange Walk, Shepherd. Please we'll invite him as well to have a few words.
Good morning, everyone. President Khan, Honorable Francis Fonseca. And good morning, once again. My message will be short and sweet as well. Since I want to complete myself around here. But I've said that if you want to accomplish things in your life, you have to work hard. There's many ways you can attract people. One of the things that Ahmadiyya has attracted is youth. Giving the opportunity to some of the young kids that never had a chance, either it be by basketball or the community work that they have done. And we've also seen my work. And Mr. Naveed has, since he has come to Belize, have reached way to Orange Walk to find out who is this man they call Logic Shepherd Mad Bull. What is he doing that people are praising him? And it was the same thing that you guys are doing. Attracting the youth, giving them an opportunity so that they can showcase their talent, so they can be in part of the world. When no one gave them a chance, the Ahmadiyya Muslim gave them a chance. Gave them an opportunity to spread their love on the basketball, either be by sports or by the community work. Just last 2 weeks, my good friend was in Orange Walk and we worked together doing some community work. And it goes to show you, over there we had about 27 youths that came out 5 o'clock in the morning. It goes to show you that when you want to do something in life, when you want to change, you have to have that heart and mind. And today, when I see you guys having this mosque, it shows me that, like the mayor said, there are bigger things to come, meaning that you want to attract more people. So I said in my speech, I welcome you to Orange Walk anytime to my town and to spread the love. Not only in Belize City, because I'm a little jealous about it, but I cannot be jealous because I know this stands a little far. Again, once again, thank you very much, everyone, and I hope that this goes far, and I hope that your dream continue. That I know for a fact that everything you do, you do in God's name. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Mayor Shepherd. If I'm not mistaken, I know that both of them, are they not coaches in the basketball league that we have? I hope they're not in the same category. I don't want to see the mayors fight. But thank you once again for the wonderful words, and definitely bigger and better things are coming, God willing, in Orange Walk and all the major cities in Belize. So to move on, I will also like to invite Honorable Gilroy Usher. He is the Minister of State for the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Transport. He will be representing the Minister of Youth, Sports and Transport, Honorable Wagner Ferguson. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Ministers of Government, President Mayor and Previous Mayor, leaders and members of the Muslim faith, other dignitaries, I'm honored and humbled by the opportunity to share a few words at this ceremony as the Ahmadiyya Muslim and inaugurate their Masjid Mosque, which means Mosque of Light. This is a historic occasion for many reasons. It shows that Belize is a democratic country that respects freedom of religion, freedom of association, and freedom of assembly, as stated in the Constitution. The building of this mosque also shows that despite the challenges we face as a developing nation, Belize is still regarded as a peaceful and law-abiding country in the region and the wider world. The building of this mosque, which is the largest mosque in the country, also shows confidence in the long-term development of Belize by the Ahmadiyya Muslim and the willingness of members of the faith to work with Belizeans to make this country a better place for all those who reside within its borders. The Ahmadiyya Muslim began working in Belize in 2013. That's 8 years ago. Since that time, they have not made demands on the government, at least they have not made outrageous demands on the government. That is good, because it shows that in spreading their faith and using their knowledge and resources for the development of the country, the Ahmadiyya Muslim want to fully integrate in the Belizean society from border to border. Founded 133 years ago in 1839 and headquartered in the United Kingdom under the leadership of His Holiness Hazrat Miraz Muzar Ahmad, the Ahmadiyya Muslim has tens of millions of followers in over 200 countries. Nevertheless, although Sister Clara Muhammad Muslim Primary School and an adjacent mosque have been on Central American Boulevard for many years, and there is a small, for a number of years, the number of Belizeans who are members of the Muslim faith has been very small. By following its motto, love for all and hatred for none, in reaching out to the Belizean people with the promotion of sports, disaster relief, teaching of phone repair and other employable skills, and its warm welcome to everyone for further prayers. In 8 years, the Ahmadiyya Muslim has a new mosque, 4 missionaries, and 2 mission houses, one in Belmopan and one in Original Town, to serve the people of this country. That is tremendous progress by any measurement. The Ahmadiyya Muslim are also known for the promotion of education and healthcare. I am therefore confident that with continuous hard work and involvement of Belizeans in every possible way, the flock of the Ahmadiyya Muslim will increase steadily for the good of the nation, as has been the case with most of the other religions in this country. As Minister of State for Youth, Sports, and Transport, on behalf of Honorable Radwell Ferguson, Minister of Youth, Sports, and Transport, I must express tremendous thanks to the Ahmadiyya Muslim for demonstrating in every country they are, including Belize, that organized sports is one of the best ways to show individuals, especially the youth, which is the largest population in any nation, that any religion or other organization is truly interested in enabling them to be fruitful citizens in all aspects of their lives. By promoting the Ahmadiyya Basketball League, which includes upgrading basketball courts, providing uniforms, offering athletic scholarships, and giving youth opportunities to advance to bigger teams with more opportunities for themselves, the Ahmadiyya Muslim teach the players and fans the important life skills such as discipline, respect for authority, and the importance of hard work and ambition. Through their basketball league, the Ahmadiyya Muslim also teaches individuals the importance of cooperation, forgiveness, sacrifice, love of fellow brothers and sisters, patience, and critical thinking, which help people to stay away from negative activities such as involvement in guns and criminal acts in the community. It is that display of sincerity for the welfare of members of the community that enable people to see the goodness of our religion and join its membership of their own free will. By living up to its motto, love for all and hatred for none, I'm confident that the Ahmadiyya Muslim has a bright future in this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Minister Gilroy Usher. Next, I would like to request Honorable Caroline Sandyford to the stage. She is the Madam President of the Senate. Honorable Caroline Sandyford.
Good morning and greetings to the next table. I have no story to tell. I don't think my stockings is torn yet, so I think I'm like you, Chester. I'm good to go. But good morning and thanks so much to say a few words as President of the Senate. I can't give any long interaction or engagement. But what I will say, my engagement was passing on the highway and seeing the building go up, and someone who is from an urban planning background, urban design, every time I passed and it was just going up and was looking so gorgeous, initially I didn't know it was a mosque, and thereafter I began to realize, oh, it's a mosque. So I want to say first, congratulations on this opening. I think it's a marvelous thing for us within our community. But my invitation came a little bit different than most of you. I have a cousin, Deborah Sewell, who manages Love Foundation, and she's represented here by Sam. So Sam, I have to acknowledge you. And she was meeting with the president on matters related to her work in urban communities. And I happen to be working in a community, and I happen to also have been seeing these blackboards, you call them in the basketball. Blackboard. Yes. And the community I'm working on, the project was a safe and inclusive space. And so we're creating this space in this community, and one of the things they wanted in the community was a half court. And so I was looking at where is it that I can get some resources to meet the community needs, because the community really came together, they sat down, they identified what it is they wanted to do. And it is one of the inner city communities in Belize that is marginalized, people are cynical, frustrated, they feel that the system have abandoned them. And so for me, it's always great when I see a community coming together and trying to solve their own issues and their own challenges. So one of the projects was a safe and inclusive space. And I remember passing and saying, but there's a backboard, we could maybe get a backboard like that. And then my cousin was meeting with the president, and I said, oh, if you're having a conversation, please beg for a backboard for me. You know, and she so did, and next thing I knew, I got a little basket with some goodies, so thank you so very much. Couple calories that I really didn't need, but it's still good. So I want to thank you for that, and an invitation to come, and I said, well, I'm going to come. I've been admiring this building all the while. I have to come in and see what it looks like. And so it's really an honor and a pleasure for me to be here, not only as President of the Senate, but certainly as someone in Belize City who understands and appreciates so much the work that your community is doing, particularly with young people, particularly with sports. I think all the speakers before have said so much of what you all have done, and I think it is just such a wonderful thing, and I wish you all the best. And as I watch the size of the yard and I watch the size of the hall, I'm just imagining more and more that we're going to see so much more people here congregating and joining with you. So once again, thanks. And it was my pleasure and honor to be here and to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam President of the Senate, Honorable Carolyn Sandiford. Next, we would like to invite Honorable Henry Usher, who is the Minister of Public Service, Constitutional and Political Reform, and Religious Affairs. Please welcome Minister of
Good afternoon. Good afternoon now. I must say I have not been to a non-political event with so many speeches, but it's all good. And I have to say, whereas we have coaches, 2 mayors are coaches in the league, I am a parent in the league. My son plays on one of the teams, and so if you go to any Sunday, I'm the loudest one in the stands. The referees all know me by now, and they're very happy when my son's game is over. Mr. Lalkan Malik, National President, Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Canada, Honorable Francis Fonseca, Mr. Naveed Mangla, National President, Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Belize, invited guests, leaders of the Catholic Church, and Bishop Usher, leader of the Methodist Church. I'm honored to be here today to participate in the inauguration of Masjid Noor, new and marvelous headquarters of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Belize, and from what I understand, the biggest mosque in the country. This is an historical moment, as the Mosque of Light is a huge milestone for the community and for Belize. Although the primary objective of a mosque is to serve as a place where Muslims join to bow down and prostrate before God Almighty in worship, it is also a symbol of the hard work and dedication of the community to build and strengthen their mutual relations and to develop unity amongst the community members and those they reach out to. Indeed, as Naveed explained to me when we met last month, the purchase of the land and the construction was done through the generosity and sweat equity of the members of the community. What has been built is truly a home. I have to admit that before my meeting last month, I did not know much about Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, not like the other speakers this morning, other than, of course, that the AMJ had the biggest youth basketball tournament in Belize, a fact I learned from my son, as I just explained. But it is truly remarkable that in only 7+ years, the AMJ has been able to have such a big impact in our country. Since 2014, the community has reached out to many Belizeans and created connections, fostering an atmosphere of peace, togetherness, and respect through community upliftment, livelihood training, and of course, basketball. I like how the mayor, Mr. Naveed, I think we need an over 40 league. The slogan, love for all, hatred for none, is a great reminder of how we must live. There are certain fundamental values that Belize was founded upon and that permeate all religions. These include respect, inclusion, service, hard work, and of course, these are all anchored by love. Violence is never the answer to solve any difference. Each of us must do our part in valuing humanity and become beacons of light where there is darkness. In 2018, the world head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Mazur Ahmad, wrote an open letter to the Commonwealth heads of government. I would like to quote from this letter some of the very inspiring words. As you gather in London for the Commonwealth heads of government meeting, it is imperative that you use your goodwill, friendships, and your mutual bond as human beings to renew and reinvigorate all measures that can generate peace. It is your moral duty to act with a greater sense of urgency to end the suffering of people across the world, to focus minds on education that leads to progress, rather than turn a blind eye to the hopelessness and poverty that feeds resentment and revenge. He continued, "We are all God's creatures, and this implores us to act with greater love, compassion, and absolute justice with each other, to build bridges, to forge partnerships, and to strive for the good of all, especially the weak and vulnerable in society. I offer my congratulations to the community and look forward to building bridges, forging partnerships, and strengthening our relationships as we continue the gigantic task of nation building. Peace and blessings to all."
Thank you so much for the wonderful words, Honorable Henry Usher. So, we will move on to also the Honorable Kareem Musa, who is the Minister of the Ministry of Home Affairs and New Growth Industry.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone, members of the head table, President Malik. It is always an honor and privilege to have you here with us in Belize, and I'm sure that you are very proud of the stellar work that Naveed has been putting in Belize, and I think we all need to give Naveed a round of applause for the leadership that he demonstrates. I always tell Naveed, I am in awe that you're able to bring under one roof members of across the political divide and religious from various religious denominations, and that is incredible because it speaks to the very real and genuine nature of the type of work that you do, Naveed, and the spirit of Ahmadiyya in their motto, love for all and hatred for none. And so I must commend you and thank you for inviting me to this inauguration of the Masjid Noor Mosque here in Belize City. And if I may quote your Caliph, Mashallah, a very beautiful masjid has been constructed, and might I say, very speedily, Naveed, because when he told me a couple years ago, when we were laying the first bricks, that this will take no time at all, I thought to myself, Naveed must be crazy. Because I saw the size of the project, but look at us here only a year or two later, Naveed. So you were true to your word, and of course, like you mentioned earlier, COVID has opportunities. I never knew that until today. I heard two opportunities that COVID brought in terms of the hard-working men and women that were here to build the mosque, and of course, your security, your new security, who has decided to come and lend his support to the Ahmadiyya here in Belize. I do hope, Naveed, that you're not permanently moving outside our constituency, because you were with us in Botwood Bay, and you've heard all of the work that the Ahmadiyya do in sports, but they also do a lot of training. The other day they had cell phone repair training. So there's a lot that they're doing in terms of imparting knowledge and sharing skills training with our young people that they need to be commended for. And of course, he's always been there for us at the Botwood Bay Park. We have beautiful Ahmadiyya backboards there. So I want to thank you for that as well, Naveed. And as we all know, Ahmadiyya now has become almost synonymous with NBA in Belize. It's one of our premier leagues that we are all proud of. And like the commissioner said earlier, I was thinking about having a basketball tournament. And while I was thinking and planning, this man is having a tournament. So he did not waste any time. He was spending the downtime in COVID planning this huge tournament that is now going on at the Mexican Institute, the Mexican Sports Center, sorry. So if any one of you haven't been there as yet, I encourage you to go out on a Sunday to see the talent and the skills of our young people, because we have so much talent, especially when it comes to sports. And it's something that the young people look forward to, just to be a part of this league. And there's no big grand prize that they're fighting for. They just want to be able to play with their friends and colleagues. And so that is something that we should all be very proud of, and to commend Naveed and the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat. So again, I thank you, Brother Naveed and Mr. President, for inviting me here today on this very momentous occasion, and I congratulate you on the opening of the Masjid Noor Mosque. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Honorable Kareem Musa. So we have been talking a lot about basketball. Well, not a lot, but we have made mention of it. I'm sure that we have made mention of it. And so the commissioner, not the commissioner of police, but the commissioner of the ABL Basketball League, before we have the last speaker, the Honorable Francis Fonseca, we would like to invite Mr. Rodman Lino to just say a few words about ABL and his interaction with the community as well. Please welcome everybody.
Good morning or afternoon, I know. So everyone, I'm really enjoying the fact that everybody has some sense of knowing about the community through basketball. I think need a re-raise. Yeah, there's no
good place of free administration.
Might as well. It is said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And for us at Ahmadiyya Basketball League, that one step was a conversation between the national president, Mr. Naveed Mangla, and then Belize Premier, Mr. Daryl Bradley. I could remember that fateful evening sitting on my grandparents' porch when I was approached by these two church guys, Muslims, talking about this crazy idea of uniting Belize City youth from all over in one area to play basketball. Wow, what a task that would have been. Well, let us fast forward that journey. 9 out of 10 of the young people you speak to know about the league, and I'm kind of proud that 9 out of 10 of the adults you speak to know about the league. We have 49 teams, 600 plus active young people playing basketball on a Sunday at the Mexico Center. We started on the 13th of February, and we're going very good. I often refer to ABL as a church league, even though there's no preaching there whatsoever. What exactly does ABL provide? Well, it is a safe haven for our young people, where they can just be young people. It is also a place where they can see and interact with positive role models. We are now at the point where we are impacting many young lives and also empowering them. Commentating, video recording of the games, and the interviews are all now being done by the young people. Yes, my friends in the media. get me shaky. Young people are coming. At this special inauguration here today, I would like to inform you that this building is more than a house of prayer. This building provides a place where young people can come and have a meal, a meeting, watch the NBA finals, or simply play a video game. This building serves as a youth drop-in center. I thank the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat for providing this safe space to my community. With initiatives like this, Belize, the country, is in good hands. More than a mosque, just as ABL being more than just a league. Nations cannot be reformed without the reformation of the youth. And this is what our journey is. We are doing it one step at a time by spreading love for all and hatred for none. I thank you.
I think because of that speech, you also need a raise for that, I guess. So, before we once again get to the last speaker, I want to just say a few names to recognize their attendance here. Mr. And I'm very sorry if I say anything wrong. The Naveed Mangla is talented in many different things, but his writing is very bad. So, the director of the prison, Mr. Murillo.
Should I come read it?
Would you like to?
My apologies, my brother has trouble reading English. All right, Mr. Murillo, Director of Central Prison, thank you so much for coming, and we're praying that you become better, and regardless of your health, you showed up today, and we appreciate our neighbor, Hand in Hand Ministries, Mr. Alvin. Where are you? Right here. Thank you, sir. When we newly purchased the land, you let us come in your building, and we used to take pictures, and we used to look at how it would look eventually. So thank you so much. Director of Education, Ms. Sam, thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Ms. Isabel Bennett, Senator, thank you so much. And finally, Mr. Ishwarlal Nandani was a businessman. His whole family is a friend of the community. He's here with his wife today. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, the representative of Love Foundation. Thank you so much for coming also. And now, Mr. Fonseca.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Distinguished National President from Canada, Qasim Mangla, and other members of your team who are accompanying you from Canada, welcome back to Belize. Our national president here in Belize, Chief Missionary Naveed Mangla, and all the members of your team, Naveed. Of course, our distinguished bishops, both Bishop Lawrence Nicasio and my friend, the Senator Bishop Benguche, my colleague ministers of government who are here with us, my friends, the mayors of Orange Walk and Belize City, senators, distinguished guests, friends, CEOs, of course, CEO Zatina and my very own CEO Mejia, and my dear friend, the President of the Senate. It's a pleasure and an honor to join you this morning, and that has turned into afternoon. And of course, when you have the honor of speaking last, of course, everything that needs to be said has already been said. But allow me to add my voice to that which has been said. I want to congratulate all the members of your Jamaat who have contributed to the construction and establishment of this holy and magnificent mosque here in Belize City. As you pointed out, Naveed, this is really the culmination of the efforts of so many people, starting with the purchase of the land and the contributions of many volunteers, including those who came from Canada. The mosque is appropriately named Masjid Noor, the Mosque of Light. And of course, a mosque is, as all the speakers have said, is so much more than the building we see here today. It is a place of worship, a place of love and dignity, a place of brotherhood and community. It's a place of respect and discipline. And really, it is a place of enlightenment. And I'm here today because this is what the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat has represented for me here in Belize for the past 8 years. Our good neighbors committed to the upliftment of our citizens through sports, through education, and community support programs. Belize, of course, is a culturally diverse nation. We are blessed with a rich, diverse culture, full of love and minds to you. All of the other speakers before me in wishing you with your work here in Belize, mission to continue to grow and expand. It's all about changing lives, impacting the way. And that can only be me to join you here today. And may the peace of Allah be with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Brothers and sisters, now again, I would like to remarks. This convocation, the population of the mosque here, the building of a mosque is right on now Pakistan.
recently a lady trying to send assistance of the symbol of Islam in a very small country to visit the mosque and contribute to the mosque. Every conversation with anyone walking in this area now begins with the mention of the mosque at 1.5 miles. His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad create a path for future. Now we are able to offer services that we couldn't offer before. Speaking to some ministers of Belize government, we have discussed the potential of starting a school or a resource center or a tutoring center. All these potential avenues have now come up with the building of the mosque. Thus we do hope that Noor Mosque, the Mosque of Lights, would not only be just a place of worship of one God, but it will also serve as a community center for the larger community of South Belize City. On this very happy occasion, I wish to thank you all for joining us in this joyous celebration. Jazakumullah, may Allah reward you. Thank you all. It is our tradition in Islam that all important events are started in the name of God and they are ended with a short silent prayer. So I invite you to join me in the silent prayer that Allah may bless this celebration and Allah may make this mosque, Noor Mosque, the Mosque of Light, as a beacon of light for everyone around. Please join me in whatever manner you would like to. Ameen. Thank you very much again.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Now the lunch will be ready and it will be served on my right. There's a tent outside. We would like to request all of you if you can exit the same way that you enter the mosque from the back. You grab your shoes and please you'll go around the building and meet us on this side for lunch. Thank you so much. Take care.